Fuck the will I buy it videos. I'm changing it up, and instead of will I buy it, we are calling that you don't need that shit. Because at this point, and you see this, I already announced that I will be on a no buy for probably the rest of the year. And instead of talking about, oh, would I buy it, would I not? I use that time to talk myself and you out of that shit, because I'm 100% sure you have this already and I have this too. So let's go into the releases that have been announced in the past days, and let me talk you out of that and let me talk myself out of it. So I just moved myself to the side so that I can show you again the pictures here, and I'm so sorry for the dog barking in the background, but I just have to keep my window open. It's so annoying that one dog here in the village, it's barking 24/7 because the owners don't have control over that dog. He's barking for like 10 minutes now. So Tatcha is coming out with a new cleansing balm, and everything that I read was, oh nice, a new way to fuck up my face. Because I just recently decluttered everything I had from Tatcha, which was 2 items, because they gave my face bumps and breakouts and a whole weird thing happening, and it took me a whole 2 weeks to get my face to a kind of normal state. Like, I know I do have these spots, but they have nothing to do with the Tatcha. That's a whole different thing. But you know, Tatcha is very, very expensive, so that means probably this fucking cleansing balm will cost you like 60 bucks. Who pays 60 bucks for a cleansing balm when you can, like, let's say you're bougie, then buy the Clinique take the day off or take off the day, whatever. That is like 30 euro here in Germany. And I recently switched actually for my eye makeup to the Inky List balm, the old cleanser I think it is, and that's 11 euro. So nobody can convince me that just because it's Tatcha, that this is better than another cleansing balm. And let me tell you, you will regret that. You will so regret that. Okay, our friends at Too Faced are killing it because they come out with the Too Faced Better Than Sex Foreplay Mascara Prime. Oh, that's a primer! Oh, now the name makes sense. I kind of love that marketing because it is sexual. I don't know what's sexual about a mascara primer, but I feel a little bit aroused now. Okay, but for real, do you need that? Absolutely not. I would say like 90% of people wearing makeup do not use a mascara primer. I am one of those 10%. I'm using currently the Lancome one, and you don't need that. If you don't use mascara primer, don't waste your money on something you never used before. Why do you use it now? Like, if you want to try mascara primer, I highly recommend, and that for me, go to the drugstore. Essence has a great mascara primer. That's awesome. It's actually better than the Lancome one that I'm currently using. And when the Lancome one is empty, I will either buy the Essence one, or maybe if the Too Faced is on sale. But this is just nothing. If you never had the idea of buying a mascara primer and trying that out, why now? Just because it's Too Faced? No. Don't do that. I don't even know what to say about that. Don't get me wrong. I love Odin's Eye. Their eyeshadow formula is to die for. I'm wearing an Odin's Eye palette today. And I love the fact that they redo their old palettes with the round pans and upgrade them to their newer formula with the square pans. SpongeBob SquarePants. I was never into the Norns collection, because actually of the pan design, because I think the newer ones with the squares is much more appealing to the eye. But I just want to say, I see this swatch picture, and all I can say is that the 4th shade that is marbled will never look like this on your eye, because it is marbled, it will mix all together. And if you cover up that red shade that is actually stunning, let me show you what you are left with. Just by covering the red shade, you're left with a palette that contains both of these. So the only reason why you should buy this upgraded Norns palette is when you don't have these. Or when you don't have any of the other collection, because that is something that I said in my Odin's Eye ranking, a lot of these shades are repeats. They reuse the same shades over and over and over again. And let me just tell you that, for example, the fourth shade, the greenish one, is probably the exact same as this shade in the Stone and Rock. The purple one, the blue one, the mattes, like you have mauve tones, you have a dusty green. They're not new. You don't need that. I don't need that. And I'm usually the first one when Odin's Eye is coming up with something new. I'm like, take my card. I buy it. Not this time. This just no shivers, no excitement. And I highly advise you, cover up the shades that are poking out. To me, it's the red that is truly outstanding to me, and that greenish shade, the fourth one, when you start counting on the right. These two are outstanding, and if you cover those two up, you are left with a palette you already have. You don't need that. I don't need that. We won't buy that. Patrick the Mold Ta is coming out with a new blush duo in the Major Headlines. Yeah, Major Headlines blush duo. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to bash Patrick Ta as a brand. I still think it's just ridiculous that the brand has no official statement on the mold thing. And if you don't know what it is, just Google Patrick Ta mold and you will find the most horrifying things. I'm a lucky girl. My Patrick Ta palette has no mold in it, so I'm good with that. But even though I like the blush formula, I have two single duos and I have the first blush, the palette, because the second one was a flop. But the first one I have. But I also have to admit, these plum shades, they're super trendy. They're trending since last winter. And I promise you, you have them. Let me just pick some out of my drawer that are the same color. So cream blush wise, I picked first of all the MAC Glow Play. This is in Rosie Does It. This is a hinge lighter than Patrick Ta. This is the Rare Beauty Faith one. Absolute color dupe. And go to Pat McGrath, the new cream blushes. Like, you cannot tell me that this is not the exact same shade, and this is Forbidden Fleur in the cream blush, so you don't need that for the cream. So let me just pick a powder blush that is the same color. So in my collection, that would be the Haus Labs Acai Sky one. That is the exact same color as the powder one. And if you bought one of the new Dior blushes, they have one of these deep purple shades now too. So I can see why people are excited for that, because it was very quiet around the brand, like since the release of the foundation. But you have these colors, 100%. And if you don't have them yet, you probably are not very interested in the color, you are just interested in the brand. If that was a different brand, if it was not Patrick Ta that comes out with a blush like that, let's say it's Rose Inc. or insert any brand name, would you still buy that? Probably not, because if you are really into these shades, you would have one already. So this one is hard for me. This is the Chanel Fall Collection, and I mean the powder eyeshadows, the nail polishes, and I think it's the Coco, the Chanel, what are they called? Rouge Coco Bloom lipsticks. They're not interesting, but that one blush, that purple blush, oh, the embossing is so pretty. That Chanel blush will be really hard to skip for me, but it's the same with the Patrick Ta. It's a nice packaging. And you know what? If that had not the CC embossing, that would not be as appealing to me, because actually my skin is low fat milk. And I think this very grey lilac will make me look like I'm dead, which is not always a bad thing, but do I really want to have this in a Chanel blush? And I have never tried Chanel blushes before, so don't be fooled by pretty embossings. We don't need that. We don't buy that. Come on, Hourglass. What the fuck? They are coming out with a Veil Hydrating Skin Tint Foundation, and it's in Europe. Yes, I saw it already on Douglas, but it's like I can see it online, but it's like marked as not in stock, so I don't know when it will be online. But first of all, these 18 shades, what the fuck? So the arm for the light shades looks exactly the same. The one in the middle, the shade 12, looks like a contour shade. Who is grey? And the dark ones, can't really tell if they're like good enough or not, because I'm not like I'm not very like educated in dark shades, of course, because as I said, I'm not that known, but I feel like this is not enough, even though it's a skin tint. And I do have one Hourglass foundation. It's the ambient lighting one that came out last year or the beginning of this year, I don't know, and they do have a massive shade problem with undertones. Like when I look at the left arm that has the lightest shades of them all, usually I would gravitate to something shade 1, but shade 1 looks so yellow, shade 2 looks green, and shade 3 could be the shade that matches me. So why, for example, this is the ambient foundation. If you saw the Get Ready With Me that I did like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I used this. I looked like Casper the fucking Ghost, like, because this is straight up white. They really don't know how to do shades, like that's not their case. So do we need another skin tint that will probably cost around €60 because it's Hourglass? No. No. If you are into skin tints, you probably already have something like the Fenty Eavesdrop or the Summer Friday skin tint. Or maybe you have the rose ink one that is really pretty. Or maybe you have the Chanel Le Beige water tint or water fresh tint. You don't need another one. And especially not from Hourglass, because Hourglass and shades, they go like in 2 different directions. This one is actually hard because LH Cosmetics, a brand that I have never tried, but I ordered something from them. My no-buy at the point where I'm filming this has not started yet, and I ordered actually powder puffs because I want to try like a triangular powder puff, and the LH Cosmetics ones looked really good. So that's the first item I would ever try from the brand. And they came out with liquid eyeshadows. I'm not a liquid eyeshadow person, and that fucking dog is barking again. But the one shade, the third one, oh my god. That looks awesome. And I saw Linda Hallberg in a post applying this, and I was like, oh, shoot me in the face. This is so beautiful. And that was hard. They're 28 euro each, or $28, so probably around the same euro price. Fuck me. They're very, very, very expensive. And I don't think LH Cosmetics is like a brand that is playing in those high-end prices. I always considered them as like mid-range. I think this is quite expensive. I mean, they look awesome, they look really nice, but let's be honest. If you are a liquid eyeshadow girl, you have these shades already. And you would probably like them more because you probably never tried that from LH Cosmetics before. Because how? Because this is the first time they come up with stuff like that. So don't do that to yourself. And if you never use liquid eyeshadows like I, or not, you know that you're not a liquid eyeshadow girl, don't buy them. You are not that type of girl. That's not your vibe. Kimchi Cheek Beauty, they came out with a fan. Let me tell you, first of all, this is free. And this is the $12 or €12 fan from Nimya, that is. It makes also air. That one looks exactly like a Dyson, which is kind of cool, but I mean, this is €35 or $35. What the fuck? No, just don't do that. Talking of Dyson, another year, another color, and if you buy a new Dyson Airwrap every year just because they have a different color, you clearly have other problems, so we don't have to talk about that now. Like, I do have one. The only thing I'm actually thinking of is buying the attachment set, because they came out with like 4 or 5 new attachments that look really, really good. And you can buy that for like €150 or so, and that I would actually buy because I have some good value of that. But buying a new set every year because of the fucking color is just, I'm sorry, but if you do that, you're just dumb. Sorry to offend. You know what? I'm not sorry. You're dumb if you do that. Too Faced. You clearly don't know how to read the calendar because they came up with 2 fall palettes. These are the Pop-Tarts, the Frosted Strawberry Mini, and the Pop-Tarts Brown Sugar Cinnamon. Do they look cool? Yes, of course. Has Too Faced this kind of color story 400 times already? Yes, so don't buy that. PSA. If you think about buying this new Natasha Denona mini palette, you clearly lost touch to reality because you have these shades. I could now blind pick 5 palettes out of my collection and I would have at least 1 palette that has this exact color story in them. First of all the shades are, they're repeats, so there's nothing new. Absolutely nothing. Is this appealing? Yes, it is. And even though this is the most boring eyeshadow palette ever, it's a very appealing boring eyeshadow palette, but you have this already. And let me tell you, if you have the retro palette, you can create that. This looks like the mini retro glam. No, was it retro glam, the mini? 1 second. This looks like it's the mini retro minus the 2 green shades, and they added a dusty purple. No. Save that money. Save that for the next big Natasha palette. Don't do that. Joke's on me for that one, because Charlotte Tilbury is coming out with a Magic Hydrator Mist, the Radiant Skin Rescue Essence. I have no idea what exactly that is for, but she also has a summer sale now and mystery boxes, and I bought one. As I said, at the time you're watching this, it's July 8th, yes, 8th, I don't know. The weekend before my Nova starts, so I allowed myself that. And I'm pretty sure that that is in there because you have like, like shadow products, and I'm pretty sure that one is that. I don't know what exactly that is, but as for my understanding, this is a face spray with hyaluronic acid and all these nice things. For a shit ton of money, you don't need that. Do you use stuff like that on a daily basis in your skincare routine? No. Why should you start now? Because you have a good working skincare routine. And if you want to have water in a bottle to spray on your face, just get yourself those €1.50 plant water sprayer and fill in some water. Jokes on me for that one, because I bought that too. The Chanel is coming out with the #1, the Chanel Skin Enhancer. As you might know, I'm a big fan of the #1, the Chanel foundation, and now this looks like one of those, either a real primer or it's one of those underpainting glow things, and I use both. So I try this, and but you don't need that. I didn't need that too. So shut up. Now there is a bird exactly here. What the fuck? I basically just bought it because I love the #1, the Chanel, the whole series. So I want to try this and how it looks together with the foundation. And the last one I want to talk about is the new Huda Beauty One Coat Wow Mascara. And let me just first of all pop that bubble. This promo pic, never one coat. Absolutely not. This is either edited or she put on 10 coats, because my lashes can look the same when I put 10 coats of MAC Stack on it. When I put 10 coats of Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes, or 10 coats of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk push-up lashes. No. I personally don't like the Huda Beauty mascara, the legit lashes one. I still have one mini in my backup drawer. I hate that. But no. There is, in that post from Makeup on My Radar, is one picture that is the first before and after, and that is the one I believe. That looks truly like one coat, and everything else looks not like that. Like the second one, I mean, she's not wearing falsies. I'm pretty sure that this is not the case, like no Lashgate 2.0, but it's so clumpy. I can see the clumps on the roots, and you know what, that is fine. I like that look. Like, it's not that I don't like it. It's really cool, but please don't tell me that you need only one coat. That's not going to happen. Alright, so that is all of the shit you don't need to buy, and I of course also don't need to buy. Yes, I bought 2 of these. I'm deeply ashamed, to be honest, but When you see this, I'm on my no-buy. We will see how well that will work out. I mean, it has to work out. If you don't know why I'm on a no-buy, subscribe, go to the profile, and then there is a get ready with me from Monday, yeah, the 10th, because the day I will be uploading this is June 11th, the Tuesday. So go to the profile, watch that video, because I talk very in depth about my personal reasons to go on this no-buy, and I'm very honest there, very vulnerable, so at the point where I'm filming this, I still feel a little bit sick to the stomach. I'm just thinking about uploading that, but we will do that because I'm pretty sure a lot of people struggle with the same things as I do, so I would just create that safe space for you. And as I said, you don't need that shit. We love the new makeup releases, but we get sucked into them and we forget what beautiful items we have. And I'm saying this while I get bombastic side eyes from over 90 different eyeshadow palettes. Just saying. So if you like that, stay here, subscribe to like TikTok and Instagram and all that shit, and I will see you in the next one.